New keyboard. But it's time for...
Questions! I need answers!
Alright. It's been about a month since the last questions and answers video, so I have a month worth of questions. If you do have questions, there's a link in the description that'll take you to a Google form that you can ask your question. But let's start at the beginning here. This one, not really going to go over the dates. These were pretty much asked between January 2nd and today, which is actually February 2nd. This first question is from NMFN21. Have you ever played casino games much, such as Blackjack or Roulette in a physical casino? And in general, are you much of a gambler? Actually, yes. Well, no, I haven't played Blackjack or Roulette. I have been to a casino. I don't go often. It's been like I go like once every few years or something, and all I really do is play the slot machines. And I never really blow more than $60 when I go, because I could sit there all day and just blow all my money. But you gotta set limits. You gotta expect not to win. I go in expecting to lose $60, and I go in, lose $60, and I leave. That's pretty much how it works. I guess, if I were to go these days, I haven't been in years and years and years, I think I could actually spend to lose a little bit more money. But yeah, I don't ever expect to win, which is why I really never go. And let's go on to the next question. This is from Mega Man Universe. What are your thoughts on achievements / trophies? Do you feel the importance of receiving your game accomplishments by way of some form of achievement system, or simply recording your game collection generally using that same system? Has it changed the way you've played games as it has for some? No further questions. Well, what's funny is, okay, I got an Xbox 360, not when it was new, but when we got an Xbox 360, I kind of got hooked on the achievements. I kind of liked getting achievements. I was like, let's see how high I could get my achievement score. And slowly, when I faded from the Xbox 360 to the PlayStation 3, it had the trophies. But I really didn't care that much about collecting trophies. However, there are some instances, and then it kind of all just faded away from me. I don't really care about the trophies so much. I'm to the point now where on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4, I don't have an Xbox One. I was getting to the point where it was getting annoying when you get a notification pop up on the screen. I turn all the notifications off because that's interruptive to gameplay. I don't care that I earned a trophy or whatnot. It's cool that I earned one, and I'm not gonna say fairly recently, but like sometime last year I realized that sometimes when you get a trophy on the PS4, it automatically takes a screenshot, and I thought that was pretty cool. That was during Mad Max. There have been a handful of games that I've enjoyed so much, though, that in order to extend the life of the game, I thought let's go get all the trophies. I think it's a good way to extend the life of a game that you really, really enjoy. The Fist of the North Star on the PS3, Ken's Rage, the first one. I got all the achievements for that. But then again, just playing the game all the way through normally, not having to do anything extra, it was kind of no problem. But Mad Max, I really enjoyed that game, and I actually kind of went out of my way to get all the trophies for that. And I wound up getting a platinum. It's the second game, the Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage, and I just said it. Mad Max are the only two PlayStation games where I've gotten the platinum trophy. If some people think that's important, I guess that's fine. I mean, ultimately, I think it extends the life of the game. You would do things that you wouldn't normally do, like the Mad Max game. I had completed it. Would I have continued playing it if it weren't for the trophies? Probably not. It actually squeezed a couple more days out of me because, yeah, let me try and do this specific task to get that trophy. And, luckily none of them relied on being online or weren't too difficult. One did take me about 2 days to get, but I had a blast doing it. And I think that's the important thing. If you're having fun doing it, that's fine. If you don't like the trophies, you can just ignore them completely. Like I kind of did, turning them off, the notifications. Don't even look at it. But yeah, I think that might be part of the reason some people only play on those systems rather than, going back and playing older systems. Is like, for some people, if there's no points or trophies, it's not worth playing. But then again, not everybody's like that. But yeah, I'd be perfectly happy if they came out with a game and it didn't support trophies or points. I would play the game. That's what's more important, is having fun playing the game. I know some people might get upset, hey, there's no trophy support for this, or I don't understand why they would need to, if they're gonna put an older game digitally on a newer system, why they would feel the need to have to add trophy support for that or whatnot. Also, there's a limit to it too, as with the Pinball Arcade. With the Pinball Arcade, every table used to have 3 trophies. Used to be able to get 2 bronze and 1 silver for every table. But apparently, because of the way they do the tables, they got to the point to where they can't add trophies anymore. So, if they're not even going to add trophies to, the extra tables, why should I even care? I don't know if there's that issue on Xbox, but then again, I know that there have been problems with the Pinball Arcade and both systems, the Xbox 360 and Xbox One's, due to their policies or whatever. So, anyway, I would say yes. The whole trophy point achievement system kind of did change my the way I played for a while, but then I kind of went back to just ignoring it. But if I do really, really enjoy a game and I get all the way through it, I'll look at the trophies and be like, yeah, let me try and do the rest of these trophies or achievements or whatever. So that's kind of how I do it. I feel it can extend the life of a game. But if you're playing the game just for the trophies and you're not having any fun doing it, whatever. I can't say anything about that. Let's go to the next question. Sam Parker, if you could be on MST3K, who would you be? Vocal roles and a new guest roles count. Thanks. I would be Timmy. And if you don't know who Timmy is, then you might want to review your Mystery Science Theater 3000 trivia. I believe it's episode 406. Fire Maidens from Outer Space. In fact, I should double check that. I don't want to make a fool of myself. MST3K episode 406. No, I'm wrong. I am making a fool of myself. 416. I was off by one number, the middle one. 416. I knew there was a 4 and a 6 in there somewhere. So yeah, Timmy. And if you don't know who Timmy is, watch episode 416. Fire Maidens from Outer Space. Next question. Where's my questions? There they are. This is from Document Schmocument. What is your favorite Sandy Frank movie? And at first, I read some of these questions in advance, and this is one of the ones where I was thinking, this is going to be a tough one to answer because you've got, all the Gamera movies. You've got Time of the Apes, and there's a whole bunch of other ones too. But the one I have to give it to is Fugitive Alien. For some reason, I like that movie. And I actually watched that. I remember watching that on TV early one Sunday morning. Very early. We're talking about like 4 a.m. Sunday morning. I kind of liked it. But it is better Mystified Rift being Rift. So yeah, I'm going to say Fugitive Alien. I know there's Fugitive Alien 2, but I still got to go with the first one, Fugitive Alien. Next question is from Drew. I noticed in your collection videos you have a ton of golf games. Do you golf yourself? I really don't golf, but I have played golf before. One of my summer jobs when I was in high school / grade school was I was a caddy for a year or two. I have taken golf class. I have 1 credit in golf in my college degree, and I have 4 in bowling. But for golf games, for video game golf games, for me, it's not so much that it's a sport. In fact, I could care less about the Tiger Woods ones. I could care less about the realistic ones. I like the Hot Shots golf series, and I like, the more kind of cartoony ones. For me, it's kind of more like a strategy game than anything. and trying to estimate. Basically, the goal is get the ball from point A to point B in the best manner possible. You've got to take into account things like the terrain, the golf you're using, the arc that the golf ball will take when you hit it. You got to calculate in the chances you might make an error and the ball might go off course. You got to take the wind into consideration. You have to put all these numbers in your head to estimate how you want to hit the ball, and then you've got to be able to do it usually by, my favorite method, I hate it when they started using the analog sticks to simulate the swing. I like using the 3-button press method that almost all the Hot Shots golf games have. So that's why I like the golf games. I view it more of a strategy game than a sports game. So there you go. And next question is from blank. It's just an underline. I forgot. So I guess this person forgot their name. Do you ever see Blu Rays going away for digital purchases anytime soon? I'll tell you one thing, not for me. I know some people have switched to only caring about digital movies, but not me. I actually still buy CDs for bands I really like. I mean, I bought just recently They Might Be Giants' latest album, Glean, because I like They Might Be Giants, and I'll buy their CDs. Now, I will rip the CDs and listen to them as MP3s, but I still bought the CD. For movies, I'll never buy a digital movie. Never. I can't see it. I can never see it happening. I will buy it on Blu-ray. Now, sometimes if it's, it's got to be a really, really good movie for me to buy it at retail. I'm not paying $30 for Blu-rays. Usually when they drop to about 15 or below, usually below, that's when I'll buy a Blu-ray. And I just like having the movie. I don't want to rely on a digital copy that may or may not have DRM on it. And I could even rip a Blu-ray if I wanted to. I could ripping DVDs as easy as pie. But yeah. And when Mystery Science Theater, when the Bring Back Mystery Science Theater campaign had the, you could buy the entire collection digitally, I thought about it. Now, it's not the entire collection, it's what was available, which is about half the series. I thought about it, but then I was like, you know what, I have it all on DVD, and I can rip it myself, which I have already have done. I have ripped all those discs, but again, I that's my right, I believe, because I own those discs. But yeah, I can't see. I don't want Blu-rays to disappear, because there's no way, and they shouldn't, because and that would be kind of bad for the people making movies, because there's no way in hell I'll be buying a digital copy of a movie. To me, that's like buying nothing. So let me move on. Next question is from Anon. Why is WWE pushing Roman Reigns so hard? Nobody likes him. Also, who do you have winning the Royal Rumble? I guess I have to answer this one question at a time. Why is WWE pushing Roman Reigns so hard? Let me answer this question this way. I have no idea who Roman Reigns is, and I don't watch WWE. I haven't watched, and to me, it's always been WWF. I stopped watching long before they made that change. In fact, when I say I was watching, I really wasn't even really watching. I just knew about it more than I know about it now. We're talking about, here are the wrestlers I know. Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, Macho Man, Randy Savage, rest in peace. Who else? Somebody else just died recently. Rowdy Piper. These are the people I know. I have no idea who Roman Reigns is. I don't know anything about what's going on with the Royal Rumble, and I know the only thing I do know is by the time I'm recording this, the Royal Rumble has already happened. That's all I know about it. I don't know who was in it or who won or anything. So, well, we'll move on. Next question. I don't have a YouTube account. You don't have to have a YouTube account to ask me a question. The question is simply Trace or Bill? Well, I gotta go with Trace. The original Crow. I'm not saying that Bill was bad as Crow, but there's been a lot more episodes with Trace as Crow than than Bill Corbett as Crow. So I'm going to go with Trace. Next question is from Benjamin Franklin. Oh, wow. I thought he was dead. Favorite short film they've watched on Mystery Science Theater 3000. And you know what? I thought about this question. I just put a connection together. Favorite short film that they've watched on Mystery Science Theater. And this question is being asked by Benjamin Franklin. There was a short called Money Talks. And with the ghost of Benjamin Franklin teaching a kid about money. I just realized that now. But man, there's so many short films. So many of them are really funny. I like the Robot Rumpus one with Gumby. There's so many of them. I liked, the Mr. B Natural. That's a very popular one, though I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I want to go with, I'm going to go with A Young Man's Fancy. Yeah, just because nobody really knows what the hell the point of that short was. I think it was for modern day kitchen appliances, but they never come out and say that. They basically just say things like, well, it's a good thing we have this electric iron. Things like that. Oh, it's a good thing that your dad has an electric water heater. Now we got hot water day and night. So it's either for kitchen appliances or just, household appliances in general. It's just mystifying every time I watch it. Also, as a runner-up, I'm going to say Once Upon a Honeymoon, because that's kind of got the same vibe where you don't know what the hell that short is about. And it's really about this couple that wants to go on their honeymoon, but the husband, he writes jingles or something, or songs for a musical, and they're forcing him not to go on his honeymoon until he writes a jingle or a song that the client likes. And the whole time, the wife is singing around the house about how good their life would be if the refrigerator stayed closed and the faucet didn't drip. I like those shorts where they're like, what the hell is the point? Oh, also as another runner-up, Design for Dreaming, about the auto show. That was a crazy one. Okay, enough of that. I could go on forever with those shorts. Let's move on to Stardust. So, Daniel Bryan I'm assuming that means didn't show up to Royal Rumble this year. Will he ever come back? Why does Vince hate him? Why is Vince pushing Roman Reigns so hard when 90% of his fans hate and boo him? HHH won the Royal Rumble. Thoughts? Oh, well, there you go. That's gonna to answer the previous question. That's who I think is gonna win the Royal Rumble. HHH, whoever that is. Yeah, I don't know. This is all Greek to me. I have no idea what any of this means. Vince, I know, is Vince McMahon, owner of the WWF/WWE, whatever you want to call it. I don't know who Roman Reigns is or why people hate them. Or hate him, Roman Reigns. And I certainly don't know who Daniel Bryan is. Why he didn't show up. Yeah, I don't know. It's a whole kind of soap opera thing that I'm no part of. I don't know anything about. So that'll be that for that question. And the next one is Sam Adams Guy, 87. How do you feel about emulating older games? I want to play Snatcher, but I don't want to buy a Sega CD or pay the $100 or so for the game. And you know what? If people want to emulate games, I have no problem with that. Now, typically, I don't like emulating games, because here's the problem. The problem is that I may be emulating something, and it's not emulating 100% correctly. And unless I've played the original, I wouldn't know that. Or the detail might be so fine that something I wouldn't notice. Now, if you want to emulate, that's fine. I think that's perfectly fine. But there's something to be said for the authentic experience too. And but sometimes there's just no way around it. You got to emulate. Some things like emulating Neo Geo, I can't tell the difference, other than the fact that you really know when you're playing it, you know, in real life with a Neo Geo arcade stick or whatnot. But yeah, even for Snatcher, isn't there a way you could burn the disc? Can't you like find a image of Snatcher and burn that to a CD and then play that in a Sega CD? Or I don't know. I don't know if there's problems with doing it that way. As far as I know, I could be wrong. There's no such, you know, copy protection on Sega CD games, because back when that came out, the CD technology was so new that it costed an arm and a leg to burn a disc. So yeah, you know, the thing that kind of annoys me is if somebody posts a video on YouTube or somebody claims to have beaten a game or whatever and did it through emulation, but didn't say that they did it through emulation. I think it's fine if you could say, you know, hey, I beat this game, but it was emulated. Just don't, you know, post something saying, oh, this is the game, and not say anything else if you've emulated it. Because people might think that that's the way it's supposed to be. I mean, there's certain videos of channels where they posted tons and tons and tons of videos without a mention that it was emulated, and I think that's kind of you know, a way to deceive people. Not really not on purpose, but people can be deceived by looking at emulated footage versus the footage from an actual console. Also, I think that if you're doing like records, and the records, if you're going for a record or speed run or whatever, that should be done on actual hardware, as opposed to an emulated state, because there's different emulators. Who knows, maybe you have an altered ROM and the game doesn't work quite right, or it doesn't work quite as the way you think it does. Like, point in fact, I saw somebody playing, like showing, how to beat Friday the 13th on the NES in just a couple minutes. And there were things happening in the game that made absolutely no sense. And even though the description said I did not cheat and everything, this is emulation, but I did not use any cheats or whatever, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. The game doesn't seem to play this way if you were to play in an actual hardware. So, you know, to me, if I were to play a game, like I played Super Mario RPG emulated, and I played all the way through the whole game and beat it. But I wouldn't actually say that I beat the game because I didn't do it on the actual hardware. Let's just put it at that. Next question is from Todd. Are you enjoying the Bloodborne DLC so far? It's easily the way DLC should be, adding a ton of new features, weapons, and gears while... Excuse me, I just ate a pizza and now it's coming up. Let's start that question again. Are you enjoying the Bloodborne DLC so far? It's easily the way DLC should be, adding a ton of new features, weapons, and gear while adding hours to the game with a huge new area. Why can't other games give you money, your money's worth, like DLC like this? Let me tell you one thing. There's only one game that's doing DLC properly, and I'd say that's Pinball Arcade, because the game itself is free. You pay for each table that you want. I like that. I could dig that, because you don't know what's going to come out in the future. If you want the season pass and get the whole season's worth of table, you know you're going to get between 10 and 20 tables, depending on if they release them in one table at a time or 2 per pack. There's 10 packs. You know you're going to get 10 packs. Or you could just buy them as they come out, a la carte. But for games like Bloodborne, he says, are you enjoying the Bloodborne DLC so far? Why does everybody assume I'm playing Bloodborne? I'm not playing Bloodborne. I had a couple game requests to play Bloodborne, and I don't play Bloodborne. I've never played any of the games in the series, like Demon Souls or anything. I think that's the same series, right? Or at least it's the same type of game. I've never played those games. I don't know what the DLC is like for Bloodborne, but like additional content and everything like that, for me, that would kind of piss me off, because, you know, I got the game and now there's more DLC. Unless that DLC was free, you're gonna have to pay extra for it. And what I would do is be like, oh crap, you know what? I'd wait for Game of the Year edition to come out with everything, all the content on disc. That's why I haven't bought the new Mortal Kombat 10 or Mortal Kombat X, whatever you want to call it, because we already knew before the game came out that there was going to be additional content. Now, I'm not saying that Bloodborne was exactly the same way, because I have no idea. Maybe this DLC really was worked on after the main game. But the point is, now there's going to be Mortal Kombat XL physical release with all that content on the disc. And I knew that was going to happen. Warner Brothers almost always does that with their games. Especially if there's a ton of DLC. So, like with Mortal Kombat, the one before, I think it was Mortal Kombat 9, which they just called Mortal Kombat for some reason. I bought the complete edition, and it has all the content on the disc, all the additional characters. So, I want, if I were to buy a physical copy of something, I want everything on the disc. And that's why I'm kind of getting dissuaded from, buying games on the PS4 and the like. Because I buy a disc, and then it turns out that disc doesn't have everything on it. Kind of makes the disc useless. And filled up, 500 gig hard drive just by having to do game installs from physical media that I own and game updates. Kind of ridiculous. That's a video I kind of wanted to make for another day. But I kept starting to do it, and it never really turned out the way I wanted to, so I never really posted anything about it. But yeah, I'm actually kind of getting away from console gaming and doing more PC gaming, which is why a lot of these Let's Play Theater 3000 videos, there's going to be a lot more Steam games coming up in those, because I kind of got hooked on Steam again. And not saying that I'm moving from console gaming to PC gaming. I still buying console games. I'm still going to play console games. But why would I buy digital download stuff on the PS4 when they've proven that the stuff that was bought on the PS3 doesn't move to the PS4? Whereas if I buy it on Steam, it's for my computer. I know that if I upgrade my computer, I'll still be able to play that stuff. And not only that, I can play it on my laptop, and I can play it on any other device I log into. So, and I could stream it from one computer to another if I wanted to. But yeah, this is all stuff that was a revelation to me in the last month. Now I say I'm not getting moved over to PC gaming. PC gaming has kind of always been there for me in the background. In fact, about 15 years ago, I was way bigger into PC gaming than I was console gaming. But then the tide kind of switched for me. But now that they're trying to push all this updates and just download only games like with the Wii U, even Fatal Frame not having a physical release. Well, guess what? We didn't buy the game. We would have bought it if it was a physical release. But no, I'm not downloading a game that'll fill up the whole Wii hard drive. Anyway, let's move on. I think you get the point of that. Anon asks another question. What was your favorite soda before you stopped drinking it? The soda I drank the most was either Diet Coke or Diet Coke with lime. Anyway, it was Diet Coke. Diet Coke this, Diet Coke that. The main reason I stopped drinking it was I kind of wanted to start getting away from it, but it just, my taste changed, and I really didn't like drinking it anymore. And then I kind of stopped drinking dark colas. I never liked Coca-Cola. I never liked regular cola to begin with. Never. It was always way too sweet for me. So I kind of moved to the clear stuff. So things like Sprite, kind of Mountain Dew, just stuff that wasn't dark cola. And then I eventually got off of that. I moved on to Arnold Palmer's. A lot of people will remember me drinking Arnold Palmer's in videos. Now I'm just straight on unsweetened tea that I've been brewing myself. And I've been reusing this Cheeky Feely cup. So yeah, now I drink all different sorts of tea that I brew in a tea maker. So there you go. Next question is from HP. Oh geez, your house is on fire. Is it? I don't see it. Anyway, your wife and animals are all safely out of the house. You have 2 minutes to run into the house to save whatever you can without being harmed. What are the first things to try and save? Bye-bye amiibo. Yeah. Okay, firstly, if there really was a house fire, things can be replaced. That's what insurance is for. Sure, you have to pay a deductible, but never really mentioned this on this channel. But about 3 years ago, we had a break-in and some stuff was stolen. You know what? I never really mentioned it because, well, one, I didn't want to mention it until the whole situation was over. And that situation didn't really finish for like a long time. And by that time, to me, it was old news, so I never brought it up. But yeah, all we had to do was take inventory of the things that were stolen. We got our money back. They cut us a check. We rebought everything. No big deal. I would assume that, same thing is happening for... Oh, wow, that went up in price. I'm selling some stuff on eBay. And those auctions are actually ending pretty soon. So I wouldn't be surprised if that phone goes crazy. If there were a fire, there'd almost be no need to have to run back inside the house to get stuff, because it's just stuff, and it could be replaced. Now, if you told me I had to run in and grab something, well, I'd grab my computer. You know what? The data on those hard drives would be harder to replace than anything else, really. So, yeah, I got my videos and stuff on there, other stuff, other, financial information, whatever. Plus, I wouldn't have to, it would save me the trouble from having to, install everything from scratch. When you say bye-bye Amiibo, whatever. Amiibo are easily replaceable. Moving on. Next question is from Bachman. Thoughts on the recent Fine Brothers bullshit, them trying to copyright all reaction videos on YouTube. Now, this is one of those things where there's a lot of misinformation going around. Fine Brothers aren't doing any copyright to anything. They never claimed that they were doing a copyright. Or they did say they were putting copyright strikes on videos, but they're not trying to copyright videos. What they are doing is, and they're not doing this anymore because of the backlash that they got, is trying to trademark the term react, along with a whole bunch of other terms that are pretty general in scope, and that's what people are pissed off about. If they were to actually, and they did get the trademark for the word react, as of right now, it's in public dispute phase or whatever, and they're not going to get to keep that trademark. They could pretty much, if they said they wouldn't do this, but come on, if you've got a trademark or a copyright, it's your obligation to go after people that you feel might be doing something similar to that. Because if you don't, you're going to lose that copyright or trademark. That's just the way the law works. They probably thought it would have been that was a good idea, because people are trying to, and I didn't even realize this until today or yesterday. People are trying to emulate their videos to a point to where you don't know whether you're watching one of their videos or another person's video. But they had over 14 million views. You'd think that it wouldn't make that big of a difference to them. Yeah, I mean, if somebody, what they're doing with the whole copyright and thing, the whole copyright system, possibly the trademark system, I don't know too much about the trademark system, is too out of control. Ever since I heard that Apple was suing Samsung because Apple owns the right to making a phone in a rectangular shape with curved edges, and Samsung has designed their phones the same way. That is nonsense, okay? That's the kind of generic bullshit, as it were, that doesn't need to be around. The problem with all these copyrights is that it stifles competition, and that's what they really want to do. They want to be able to do their thing without having to worry about competition, without having to worry about somebody doing it better than them. Because guess what? If they were to get this trademark, they could say, "Hey, somebody's doing a React video. Pull that down. We own that. We own that word React. You can't do that." And it would be a lot easier for them to quelch the competition, as it were. And that's the problem, is that all these big corporations, it's not just the Fine Brothers. This happens all the time with bigger corporations all the time. Like Monster Cables. Did you know that years ago, Monster Cables going over any company that had the word Monster in the name? It's that exact kind of thing that they would do. It's like they had the trademark on the word Monster, I believe. So I think they went over things like Monster.com, even though you would not mistake the job website for cables. They went after them anyway. They went after small businesses that happened to have the word monster in there and got them all shut down because of legal fees and stuff. It's the kind of stuff that needs to stop. I mean, nobody's going to mistake Monster Cable with a company that does plumbing. But yet, they would go after them anyway. They just basically did a search for Monster and saw what companies came up and sued them all. So yeah, I'm not saying that, but nobody's saying that what they did was a good thing at all. In fact, the only people saying that it would have been a good thing are people that would have been in the same boat as the Fine Brothers, that where this what kind of stuff would have benefited them. So yeah, I think my thoughts and reactions, it took me a couple days to figure out what was going on, and I had to watch some videos, unbiased videos, because there are a lot of videos out there with misinformation, and you really have to read a lot of articles and watch a lot of other videos from different people to understand the whole picture of what's going on. But let's move on to the last question here from Shortell. Do you ever think we'll see a new FZero game? I hope so. I really like FZero. It might be my favorite Nintendo franchise. Well, yeah, I really like the original. I was gonna say Wipeout. I really like the original FZero. But here's the thing: is they didn't come out with another FZero till FZero X, and that was after Wipeout came out on the PlayStation. And I really liked Wipeout, and I like Wipeout more than FZero. But FZero GX is a really awesome game, and it's really tough too. But I still like Wipeout more. But I kind of do wish they would come out with another FZero game. And do I think we'll ever see one? They threw an FZero-like game in with Nintendo Land. Sure, it's nothing like FZero, but they're still acknowledging the franchise's existence, especially with Super Smash Brothers. But yeah, they totally need to come out with a new FZero game, and hopefully, whenever they announce the NX, maybe there'll be a new FZero game in the launch lineup. But who knows what the NX even is? There's a lot of speculation. Nobody really knows what it is, and all I've heard is speculation. So, we'll see. And that's it. That's everything. Wow, 37 minutes. Thanks for watching. This is long. Bye.